Hello, team. Happy Monday. Sarah and I are going to be back for our live on nutrition while traveling. And I even had one of my clients ask me to cover a topic within this topic, and I cannot wait to cover that as well. So usually when we think of nutrition while traveling, we think of nutrition while on vacation. But that does not always mean it's just nutrition while on vacation. It can be nutrition while needing nutrition, even when you're away. So anytime that you're away from home, even if it's just a day trip, that's what we'll be covering today. So I'm going to wait for Sarah to join in on the live. I do apologize if you hear some barking. My dog is here with me. And Sarah Hayes. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Emily.
Oh, great. The noise. I almost said the music. The noise is working tonight.
Oh, yay! Yay! Finally.
Natalie says hi, Magoo. He's over here asleep. You can kind of see him on the bed.
Oh, okay, Magoo. I don't have to wake him up.
I know. He spent the night last night because my parents were getting their roof redone, and I was like, he's gonna be freaking out if he hears people on the roof and like he can't look out the window. So I was like, he spent the day with us, and he'll be going home after the live.
Oh, good. Oh, he has to go back to his actual home. You just can't keep him? Like, really?
I know. They sent out a nasty email last week. It was like, if you're found with a dog, you're subject to eviction. And I was like, oh, well, at least he's not mine.
Yeah, true. He's not yours. You don't have any ownership over him.
Exactly. So we're going to be covering tonight, Sarah, nutrition while traveling. And this means like nutrition while like going on vacation. And also too, one of my clients, Timmy, brought up talking about nutrition while traveling for work. So she's going to have to be traveling for work now every other week and wanted us to cover, she's going to be going away for the night. But even if you're doing a day trip, kind of like how to navigate your nutrition while being away from home. So we're going to cover kind of both aspects of that while being out of your element.
Mm-hmm. No, I know nutrition while traveling, it seems super intimidating, especially because you're like, I want to relax. You don't want to think about nutrition. And we're not going to coach you completely on how to be a nutritionist. It should be all about the trip and not about your food intake. Just give you some key pointers that might make you feel a little better on your trip so that you're not totally, by the end of the trip, feel really groggy. I know I usually feel really groggy, really constipated, and it's a fun feeling sometimes.
And a lot of that too is like obviously some people will have like physical hangovers after a trip, but also like just the eating different foods hangover where your body's like, I am not used to this. I'm not used to having, a lot of salty meals and a lot of alcohol and not a lot of water and not a lot of fiber and protein, where we just get that like blah feeling overall.
Mm-hmm. Especially because when you're at home, you cook for yourself a lot. And then when you go on a trip, you're getting food out every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like you rarely get to cook for yourself. I know when I went to, my family's a big Disney World family. So when we would go, it'd be like the Disney meal plan, which means you get a quick service meal in the afternoon and then the full table service at night. And so I would just feel so disgusting by the end of it. But this is when I was a kid and I would be like, why do I feel so gross? And it's because I didn't prepare. I didn't have enough variety in my meal. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to get started on this, but as always, if you're hopping on live, please comment team live. If you're watching this replay, please comment team replay. It looks like we got Kelly here. We got Natalie here. We got Sue here. So we're going to get rolling. And I know as more people are hopping on too, they'll be able to say hello. And if you have any questions on this, guys, please drop it down in the the comments below. There we go.
This is content, not the content.
This is our content. Yeah. But all right, so the first thing that we want to touch on is like keeping up with nutrient variety. So it's very easy to just be eating slices of bread all day long or just be having, carbohydrates or anything like that. We want to stay up on variety. Our body's like variety. It likes routine. It likes to know what we're going to get. So the easiest thing for us to do is to be able to give it that variety. Now, we're not saying you can't have the chips or anything like that. We're saying, how can we have variety and still enjoy, some of the foods that we like?
Mm-hmm. So the thing Emily's trying to point out is try to have the PCC method as much as you can. Try to get that protein carb color that Emily always preaches, because that's how you'll feel better and you'll get the most out of your meal. And then you'll also get the fiber that maybe you wouldn't be having normally on your trip. We're not going to say every meal is perfect. You have to have this method every single meal. No, just maybe aim for it like maybe once a day or something. Mm-hmm. Just try some sort of color in there at some point to help your body just function a little bit better.
Exactly. And really, it's the protein and the color that we have the hardest time usually getting on vacation. And without those, if we're not getting enough protein in, we're going to be feeling ravenous all the time. If we're not getting enough color in, that's where the constipation comes into play. So we want to make sure that we at least are getting protein and color in at least at those two of those meals. It's going to be easier. Now, Natalie is saying, and this is another thing too, you know, a lot of people, and Natalie especially, have been staying at Airbnbs where they have, you know, you might be able to make breakfast at home, which is great. If you're doing that, let's try to have, you know, what we would usually, you know, have in the morning, whatever your usual breakfast might be.
And it's nice too, because usually with Airbnbs, you get a bigger fridge too. So you can maybe put some fruits and vegetables in there that you can snack on later in between too. So like if you're going to the beach, you can bring an apple with you and chew it on the way, or you can keep it in a nice cooler at the beach as well. So it's nice to have that big fridge too, so that you can come back and maybe put your bottles of water in there, or put your snacks in there. It's nice to have. So I love that Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. And then at least you're having one meal a day at home where you can say, okay, I usually have an apple. I have some yogurt with some granola. I'm going to go with that because I know that's what my body likes. My body likes routine. It doesn't like to put out, you know, crazy anything changing like that. So that's a really good place to stop. And Sarah, you brought up a good point there for number 2, bringing your water bottle. Water is still so important while on vacation. This is another reason why people get so constipated on vacations, because they're not drinking enough water. We still have to stay on top of that.
And it's so easy. Like, I totally get it. It's so easy to forget about your water. Like, oh, I'm at the beach, or oh, I'm going walking, or oh, I'm going to all these places. And then you're like, oh, wait, I don't have my water. So making sure you have your water bottle with you, it's a good way to hold yourself accountable. I need to drink it up. I have to drink it up before I can start doing this activity, or else you're probably going to be dehydrated, especially if you're going down south to like Florida or something. It's a lot hotter and you're probably sweating more. So it's extra important to get your water in.
Exactly. And you can bring, you know, your cup with you. My family will always get a case of water bottles and we'll leave them in the fridge. That way we can bring them to the pool with us if we're somewhere warm. Or if you're traveling like for work too, and let's say you have to fly, take your cup empty through security, then fill it up with water. Most places will give you ice water, fill it up, and then try to drink at least 8 ounces for every hour. And you're in the air there too. So the water, the hydration is a really important part. Bring it with you, whether you're traveling for work or for vacation, whatever it is, water still needs to stay consistent.
Especially if you plan on consuming alcohol too, because you don't want to feel super hungover that next day also. You want to make sure you at least get some water in there. Maybe in between each drink, just have some water, 4 to 8 ounces of water, just to make sure that your body is not super dehydrated.
Yeah. And Natalie says Aldi's has a 32-ounce glass water bottle in a sleeve for $9.99 this week. Definitely, that's a really good option because you can clean the glass water bottle, the sleeve too. That way it's not going to break on you. Really good option. Thanks, Natalie, for sharing.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that.
So another thing as well is maybe it's definitely advantageous for us to pack some snacks or things that we would usually eat at home too. That way we don't have to stop at like a pit stop or anything like that, or roadside thing, or have to spend too much money at an airport to buy a snack, because we all know that those prices are outrageous.
Airports have those prices for no
it's
reason.
Crazy. Like a $25 breakfast sandwich, nothing is ever that magical, and it never tastes good.
No, it's even just because you're at an airport doesn't mean it tastes better. No, it does not taste that much better.
No, not at all. But bring, you can pack like yogurts with you too. If you have a little cooler, like in your backpack or even in like your check bag, you can always throw some yogurts in there. It can be pretty shelf stable. You can get some shelf stable milk like Core Powers as well to throw in your checked bag. That might be another easy option. Granola bars, fruit, as long as you're traveling domestically. You can't bring it to Hawaii. You can't bring it internationally, but fruit travels easily. Sandwiches travel easily. Things like that. Make sure you have, quick convenience items that are still whole and well-rounded with it as well.
Exactly. And especially, you don't even have to have them if it's too much of a burden to bring it with you. Just buy them when you get there. Try to find the nearest grocery store. Honestly, Amazon, you can do Amazon grocery. That's what my family did in January. They had Amazon grocery just deliver.
That's perfect.
Right to where we were staying. So then we didn't have to worry about like, oh, we don't have a car or anything. They just brought them right to us, which was super helpful. We got we got grapes, we got milk, we got yogurts, we got a lot of stuff that were super helpful for when we went to the parks and everything.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That you can send a lot of them that way, or you can order them ahead of time and have them delivered. Another, like, even if you're traveling for work, just try to have something packed with you. Even if it's like, okay, I'm going to pack a thing of like peanut butter and I can pick up bread when I'm there. Natalie says she packs cheese slices, dried fruit, and nuts for air travel. Perfect. The Baby Bell cheeses that are wrapped, those are very easily travel safe. They do not have to be refrigerated for an extended period of time. So that's another easy one that you can bring on the plane too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
those are
Snacks. It's very helpful. It's very good, and you're keeping your body, it keeps yourself from being ravenous after you get off the plane too. Because I know air travel, it can take a lot of time. It can take an extensive amount of time because you have to go through check-in, security, and security anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour or something, and then you have to wait 8, and then
Right, and we know too, like in the air, they're really not serving meals anymore. You'd have to be buying something, so you can bring all of this stuff and still get enough in that way too.
Exactly.
Yep. And then lastly, let's talk activity. So this is another thing as well. You do not need to be going to the gym while you're away, but I do want you to find ways to get active. I do want you to find ways that like would be fun. I have a client that's going 2 weeks in 2 weeks to Myrtle Beach. She said that her wife's family is huge beach walkers. So they will be walking the beach every morning, and she's like, it's exciting. I love it because it'll be nice out and it'll be feeling good.
Exactly. My mom just came back from Florida this week, and she did water aerobics. That's something different.
There we go.
But a great exercise she enjoyed doing. You can do anything that just gets you moving, because again, that will help with the constipation, making you feel better. When I went on a cruise 4 years ago, I hate running, but I went on a treadmill for 20 minutes, and then I was like, I actually feel 10 times better right now. Now I know I can just sit and relax, and it got my body moving. I felt everything was moving at that point. So just getting something, whether it's biking, whether just taking laps around the cruise ship or the beach or the parks, making sure you get some sort of movement in. It doesn't have to be very vigorous. Just get your body moving.
Exactly. And it could be, if you felt like it, when I was in Florida at the beginning of March, I used my Pilates subscription, and I did like, I think one of their 10-minute classes, because all the classes are on demand. I did a 10-minute class in the bedroom, you know, when my mom and her sisters were out hanging out. Like I was like, I know I need to get moving, and this feels better when I do it.
It feels a lot better. I know, luckily I went to Disney World recently, like I said, Disney family, and
you're moving a lot there.
We all know. I get a specific activity in because I was walking like 8 to 10 miles a day. So that was my exercise for the day. So don't worry about if you're going to a place that requires a lot of walking, oh, I need to get this other activity in. No, you're doing a ton of walking. That's perfect enough too.
Right. This would definitely be more full. So like if it was like a beach vacation, I would say, you know, that you may want to like get up in the morning and go on a walk, or see if you can run a bike. A lot of hotels too will let you rent like paddle boards and canoes. There's one hotel that we'll stay at where they give them out for free. You just have to like sign them out. So my brother and I will like paddle board around the little cove that the hotel's in. So there are definitely options. You just have to kind of seek them out.
Yeah, especially like you said, going on the water, there's so many options that you might not have all the time, like canoeing, kayaking, like you said, even swimming. Swimming is a great way to get the full body active. Get in that water. You need to cool down. It's totally fine.
Exactly. And the exercise too is going to help with preventing that constipation as well. So really, to recap this, activity is important, staying on top of your water intake, getting in the variety of nutrients, making sure that you're getting in protein and color there, and packing stuff with you, making sure that you're prepared and planning a little bit ahead. But I know that everyone's going to do great, especially after this training. You're feeling confident, you're feeling ready to go. Now we just need to leave for vacation.
Exactly. I wish I was on all of your levels with your spring vacation.
I know.
At work still, you know.
Right, exactly. We're here. My computer says it's 56 degrees and cloudy here. It's surely not, you know, one of my clients was sending me pictures from the beach earlier. I was like, oh, you stink.
I'm so jealous. Happy for you, but I'm mad at you.
Exactly. Anything else you want to add, Sarah?
No, just again, don't worry about food. Like, don't stress about, oh my gosh, I'm eating way too many carbs. Like, oh my gosh, like they're not going to be happy with my food choices. We want you to have fun. You're on a vacation. We're not judging everything you did. This is just to help you feel better on your trip so that you're not coming home feeling groggy. So enjoy your trip. Don't worry about nutrition. Just enjoy.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. Just stick to the basics. Move, protein and color at least at 2 meals, and hydration. You got this.
You're good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please let us know if you watch this live or replay. If you have any questions you want us to answer, please leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for joining me, Sarah, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.